Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Tyler Clemmons, your host of the Clemmontime Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. This is my Week 7 picks against the spread. Thursday Night Football's already happened, and as you would have imagined, I picked exactly who everybody else picked to win this game, and that was the Pittsburgh Steelers, -5.5. And if you picked the Steelers -5.5, you probably were thinking just like I was, what the hell happened? How was Joe Flacco able to come in 10 days and be able to put up the points that he put up in that game? Steelers defense couldn't get a pass rush. Joe Flacco, he was sacked 2 times, but that doesn't even tell you the story of the Jamar 16 catches. So this is typically picks, and I don't go over this Thursday night game, but I am going to somewhat go over this one to the extent of Pittsburgh should have had this game. Short week, Joe Flacco comes in, didn't play the best game last week against the Packers, but enough to keep him in it. A lot of people thought since he's playing the Packers, he's got their number. He beat them with the Browns. He's going to beat them with the Cincinnati Bengals. Well, Joe Flacco being able to call in and call the plays word for word doesn't mean that you know how to execute the plays. That's the difference. On 10 days, Joe Flacco was able to hear the plays, call the plays, know what the plays are, but he's not able to go out there and just completely understand that these routes are on this side of the ball. This is the coverage that we have on this side of the field. Maybe we need to go to this other side because now it's man instead of zone. A lot of different things played out in the game for the Bengals against the Packers, which did not play out in this Steelers game. I won't totally recap it. I'll do it when I actually do all the picks, but we already know Pittsburgh lost this game, -5.5 favorites, and they lose by 34-31. I believe that was I think that was a spread. 33-31, sorry. Just a good game plan by Cincinnati. Good game plan. We're going to go ahead and move on to first game of the Sunday slate, 9:30 game. Los Angeles Rams traveling to London to take on the home team, Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville goes in this game a 3.5-point underdog, even though they are technically considered the home team in this. A lot of the other teams that play in London are not the home team. Essentially, you'll have a NFL logo in the center of the field, and one team's going to wear home, the other team's going to wear away. Because Jacksonville has spent so much time in London, this is a home game for them. And that's exactly how this game played out. A lot of Jacksonville fans, I'm watching this right now. There's 3:27 to go in this 9:30 game. It's 35-7. Trevor Lawrence does not look like a first-round quarterback at all. At all. Some of the little things that he doesn't do well is his foot placement. He can't even throw a good ball to somebody 10 yards away from him because he had to do play action pass and he doesn't get his feet set. I don't even know how that's a thing. You should have arm talent enough if you don't have your feet set to be able to still get him the ball. And that just didn't happen in this game. And Matthew Stafford has played an excellent game. The weather's not been the greatest. You can't even tell it's raining, but they've talked about how much it has just consistently rained throughout this game. Rams didn't even run the ball that much, but Jacksonville just can't do anything offensively. They've went for it multiple times on 4th down and got no points on a drive when they're deep in the Rams territory. No points. But this game was a -3.5 or +3.5, depending on who you're going with. I'm going Rams -3.5, and as of right now, it does look like they're going to close this one out and cover that 3.5-point spread. As Trevor Lawrence is running around like a maniac and just throw this ball over the middle of the field and almost caught by Parker Washington. But once again, Trevor Lawrence running for his life, just heaving the ball up there, trying to make something out of nothing, and they just cannot do it. Cannot do it. And once again, Trevor Lawrence is doing this thing where he's up and down, has a good week, and then he just terrible. Then he plays really well, and then he's terrible. Hence to this 4-3 record the Jaguars are about to have. So many little things Trevor Lawrence could just get better at that would make him a much better quarterback. I feel bad for Trevor, but I feel bad for Jaguars fans that they have to endure this guy. They really do. And hey, Trevor Lawrence isn't terrible. He's won his entire football career up until the NFL. State championship winner in high school, and he won it with Clemson his freshman year. And then after that, that was about the end of the Trevor Lawrence success trip. That's about it. Really struggled in the NFL. Has not been a very consistent quarterback at all. He has all this talent. Like, I just watched him throw essentially it's a 30-yard ball, but it's about a 12 to 15-yard deep out or comeback route on the sideline. Great spot, great throw, good catch. But nothing that's going to keep the Jaguars in games or be able to bring them back, it seems like. It's terrible. Rams minus 3.5, that's my pick, and looks like they'll cover. So right now I'm 1-1. Moving on to the New Orleans Saints at the Chicago Bears. Bears have really turned things around. They stole a game from the Commanders last week. Commanders, all they have to do is hand the ball off. Hand the ball off. That's it. Could not do it. And the Bears are staying in games right now. Caleb Williams has much improved quarterback skills this year. Ben Johnson is unlocking those, but you're not getting these Caleb Williams plays where he's running around all the time taking terrible sacks. Yes, he did take one, but he's not doing that like he was last year. They were drawing up plays. He's understanding them, and he's not having to be a savior as Lawrence got sacked again. As of now, there's 7 sacks. Excuse me. New Orleans Saints traveling to Chicago. I'm going to take Chicago minus 4.5. New Orleans, not terrible quarterback play, but Spencer Rattler is not going to win you these games right now. Your defense has to play elite football. That's going to be the biggest key for the Saints to even stay in these games. If they don't play good defense, the offense is not cooking it up. They beat the Giants with a rookie quarterback. So it's not saying too much for the Saints. They've got to get a little bit more reputable win. And if they do beat the Jaguars, you feel like the New Orleans Saints could be an upset team at some other point throughout this season. It could ruin some games for some teams that are needing a win. So we'll keep an eye on that. I'm going to take minus 4.5 Chicago. I just think Ben Johnson has got this offense in a much better place. And Caleb Williams is going to roll. Next game we have. The next game that we have is the Miami Dolphins at the Cleveland Browns. And this game is supposed to be dog shit. Not the type of football that we're going to see, or the execution of football that we're going to see. But I mean, weather is absolutely garbage. Garbage. I believe it's like 85% chance to rain, maybe even 90. Wind gusts between 35 and like 60 miles an hour. It's insane. I don't know what kind of game plan the Dolphins are going to have going into this. I have an idea what the Browns are going to do. You know what the Browns are going to do or try to do to the Dolphins? What every team has done the last 3 weeks. Consistently run the ball. If the Dolphins cannot win this game, it's going to be because Cleveland ran the ball down their throats. Ran it down their throat. Vital for the Chargers, he's a third-string running back. Third-string running back, and he had 100-plus yards in a game. He hadn't had over 35 in his career. In a game. Yet, against the Dolphins, he runs for 130 yards or something like that. It makes no sense. And the way this weather's going to play out, Cleveland Browns are going to have the opportunity to run the ball as much as they want. So expect the Cleveland Browns to do that against the Dolphins. The Dolphins, I don't know what's going to happen in their passing game. If there is a passing game, it's going to be the quick, short RPO slants, outs, things like that. I don't see them stretching the ball down the field unless the weather has just completely changed from the last thing that I saw. And I doubt that it has. Highly doubt that it has. I'm going to take the Dolphins, though, plus 2.5. Because it always seems like when we're down in the dumps, we play better. And we played a really good game against the Chargers. Matter of fact, we could have won that game with 45 seconds left, but we can't tackle anybody or sack anybody for needless to say, I should say. Going Dolphins plus 2.5 on this. I hope they prove me right. I hope so. I hope we just have a fantastic running game, and Tua doesn't have to sit there and try to throw the ball with the minimal amount of arm strength that he has. Patriots at Tennessee. Wow. Tennessee fires their head coach. It's going to be the interim head coach. coming into this game. New England, though, Vrabel has done exactly what I thought Vrabel was going to do. Vrabel has turned this team around. Drake May and Josh McDaniels are on the same page. They are executing at a high level. On the other hand, I think Brian Callen came in with the expectation that Cam Ward was just going to be able to absorb every single thing that I throw at him. And as a rookie quarterback, regardless of how good he was or if he's the first pick, you cannot do that. Yes, he is. He has made some really good plays, Cam Ward has. And then he's been sacked a lot. I think if what they said they're going to try to do was try to simplify this for Cam Ward, as in Cam Ward shouldn't be coming to a line, having to check out of a play, check into another play, and then hope that everybody's on the same page. No, it should be get up to this. We either call 2 plays or we don't, and we're either going to run it or flip it to the other side. Just simple stuff. Maybe easy hot routes, okay? Not trying to identify the coverage, give him the coverage, make sure it slides the right way. No, let the line call that. Make this a little bit easier on Cam Ward and let him play ball. I think Tennessee is going to do that. Just don't know if it's going to cover this -6.5 spread here, and I'm going to go New England -6.5 on this. I'm just not quite sure that Tennessee has a good team to begin with. That's why they had the first overall pick. And I don't think changing the coach is going to do too much of that, but you should see this game probably stay a little bit tighter than usual. But I just think New England's going to do enough to edge out the Titans, and that's what I'm going to go with. Next game on this, I don't normally do these plus 10.5 spreads. I usually don't. I tell you that all the time. It's the biggest spread that we have in the Week 7 slate, and that's a -10.5 for the Kansas City Chiefs against the Las Vegas Raiders, who's traveling to Kansas City. Kansas City has Rashee Rice coming back. Don't know if that means anything, but what I do know is that means that Mahomes is going to be throwing to another receiver. Now you have Hollywood Brown, Juju, Tyquan Thornton, Rashee Rice, Travis Kelce. 5 guys right there. And there's 2 other guys that could catch the ball. Don't get me wrong, there's 2 other guys. I don't see Vegas being able to stay in this game at all. Kansas City's got their weapons back. They're going to be a little bit more confident on the offensive side of the ball. Vegas has a good defense. They have a good pass rush in Max Crosby, probably the best pass rusher in the NFL. But they've not done anything well enough to make me believe that they're going to cover this 10.5 point spread. They don't. Matter of fact, Geno Smith has really has played poor football from what I have expected him to play coming into Vegas, especially with Pete Carroll. Because when Pete Carroll came in, or should I say Geno Smith came in when Pete Carroll was in Seattle, Geno Smith was a career backup basically. And Pete Carroll trusted him to just take over for Russell Wilson and run this offense. And that is exactly what Geno Smith did in Seattle. Now, I thought that would be somewhat of the same outcome for Geno Smith coming to Vegas, but not so much. They don't have the receivers. They've got a running back, but you legitimately have no number 1 receiver. Brock Bowers is a number 1 tight end. Jacoby Myers is really a solid 2 receiver. You don't have anybody else after that. You really needed to try to keep Devontae Adams, but you didn't have a quarterback, so he wanted out of there. He wasn't winning. Derek Carr was gone. What do? Let him go. Going Kansas City -10.5. I just think they are going to be on fire offensively, and this might be a high-scoring outage for the Kansas City Chiefs. Not so sure about Vegas. I think Genty's going to have a tough night. Going on to Philadelphia at Minnesota. I'm going to take Minnesota +2.5. Philadelphia is on this 2-game losing streak. I think Minnesota is going to continue to put pressure on Philadelphia. They're going to stop that running game with Saquon Barkley, and if they can do that, Philadelphia does not have a very dynamic passing attack right now. As a matter of fact, I'm not even starting A.J. Brown in my fantasy league because of this. He's jacked me so many times. I played him the 1 week against the Giants, and he got 14 points, 6 catches for 80 yards. Not bad. No touchdowns, though. No touchdowns. I believe the best game before that, he had a 20-point outing in fantasy. So until A.J. Brown becomes the number one target, Devontae Smith isn't even becoming that guy. Philadelphia's got things to figure out. They really do. They're going to have to develop a passing game if the running game's not working. And then you can get back to the running game. It sounds so cliche and simple because it really is. It's X's and O's. I'm going Minnesota plus 2.5. Carson Wentz going to get the start again. And if he plays well against Philadelphia, I don't know if J.J. McCarthy is going to get his job back. That's going to be a very interesting, very, very interesting play out of the quarterback position in Minnesota. Because Minnesota thought that J.J. McCarthy was going to be the guy. But he very inconsistent with how his play has been. And since Carson Wentz has been in there, you know what Carson Wentz does, and Carson Wentz has consistently stayed to that. I'm not sure what this is over here to the right. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Dolphins and Browns, temp 67, wind gust up to 39 miles an hour, rain throughout the day. Wow. So, as I said, this Browns-Dolphins game is probably going to be shit. We're going to go ahead and move on to the Carolina Panthers at the New York Jets. Rico Dowdle had a monster 2 games in his starting role. Chuba Hubbard's going to come back. They're going to split carries, but New York Jets stymied the Dallas Cowboys run offense when they played them. Javonte Williams didn't have a good game. The Jets didn't win. Wasn't even close to winning. But the Panthers are going to come in with a two-back? What am I trying to say? They're going to come into this game with a two-headed dragon. Here we go, in the backfield. Carolina looks to run the ball now. Since they've identified that as their strong suit, they are a run-first team. Now, they just don't run, pass, pass. They'll run, pass, run, pass, run. They really do a good job of mixing it up. And that is why this head coach for Carolina got the head coaching job. Baker Mayfield executed his play calls, and it was maybe Bryce Young. Maybe he can make Bryce Young better. Showing off this year. It took until halfway through the season last year for it to pick up, but now it's continued to do that. Bryce Young isn't having to sit back there at 5'10", slinging the ball 20 to 25 range, and they're running the ball 35, 40 times a game. If Panthers continue to do that, which I think they are going to take advantage of Justin Fields today, Carolina's got this plus 1.5. That's who I'm taking. I just think Justin Fields is completely incapable of being an NFL quarterback. He can't do it. You cannot call passing plays for Justin Fields with the absolute confidence that he's going to go out there and execute these plays. And if you tell me you do, you're lying. You're lying. He cannot do that. And that is the difference in this team. Tyrod Taylor, if he was out there, yes, he's an older quarterback, but you'd be able to call passing plays knowing that he's going to get the ball to the right person because pre-snap read. Saw this coverage. I knew this was going to be my hot route. Justin Fields does not do that at all. At all. No threat. Until Jets get a real quarterback, Panthers all day, plus 1.5. Going on to the Giants at the Denver Broncos. So this is a minus 7.5 favorite for the Broncos at home. Weirdly enough, I probably would have took the Giants, but how good this Denver Broncos defense is and what they did to, once again, the New York Jets, even though they're not a good team, Jets stymied the Denver Broncos offense as well. Denver's defense with Nick Bonito, I think, is going to give the Giants an issue. I think I think Jackson Dart is going to have a rookie game today. Just my opinion. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I don't like to see rookies have terrible games. But just knowing that in the NFL, when you have a rookie quarterback on the other side against a really good defense, typically that defense is going to get after a rookie quarterback big time. He's going to be showing him a lot of different looks, which I think Jackson Dart has done a really good job identifying disguise coverages and still being able to find the right place to go with the ball. And when he runs with the ball, he does it at the right time. But this Denver team, I think they're going to get back on track with the offense. Cortland Sutton is the number one receiver on this team. Bo Nix has showed that he is an NFL quarterback. I think Sean Payton calls the game really, really good for him, and they have a very different relationship. Bo Nix is quick to tell you an answer when you ask him, and once he tells you that answer, that's his answer. It's not question why and explain why he went there. No, this is what I saw, this is why I went there, okay? It wasn't open. And Sean Payton sometimes is like, whoa. Tell me more. That's it. That's all there is to it. And then they just go on about their business. It's a weird relationship, but Sean Payton expects his quarterback to play at a high level because he's 25. He's a 25-year-old second-year quarterback in this NFL league. You don't have a lot of those. You really don't. Justin Fields is almost his age. I think Justin Fields is 26 or 27. And look at the difference of play. Look at the difference of play. That's all I can say. Denver minus 7.5. I'm going to take them on this one. Indianapolis Colts traveling to the Los Angeles Chargers. Colts are a really good team. I'm actually going to take them to this plus 1.5. The Chargers are going to get Quentin Johnston back. Their problem is that they're decimated on the offensive line. That is the biggest thing. I don't know if they're going to be able to run the ball against the Colts. Colts have a pretty good defense, but their secondary is a little banged up. I don't know how much the Chargers are going to be able to take advantage of that if Justin Herbert can't stand back there and make these deep throws. It's the only thing that I have to question in this game. So this is probably going to be the top 4 o'clock game, in my opinion. I mean, the Dallas and Washington game is going to be a really good game. That's the next one I'm going to pick. But I think this AFC battle between the Colts and the Chargers is going to be a really, really fun 4 o'clock matchup. So keep your eyes on that, if you will. Colts plus 1.5 for me. Washington Commanders at the Dallas Cowboys. Do I even have to say it? Do I have to? Dallas Cowboys plus 2.5. Reason why. Dak is playing at a very high level right now. Very, very high level. If this defense, which is going to be Trayvon Diggs, if they can actually get after Washington a little bit, stymie their run game, and make Jaden Daniels throw the ball, could be a long day for the Commanders. But if not, I don't feel too bad about Dallas being in a shootout. They have a really good offense. If that's the case, the offense can keep up with the poor defensive play. But they're going to have to get a stop here and there to be able to stay in this game. Washington has got Jaden Daniels back. He's going to be in his 3rd game. Finally threw some touchdowns last week against the Bears, but costly turnover. Very, very costly turnover. They're in a dome today, so that is not going to be a factor at all for the Commanders in ball handling with a wet ball. I just think Dallas is going to keep that game close. I think if Dallas defense can step up just a tad, I think they're going to cover that plus 2.5. That's what I'm going to go with. Then it's my wife's teams. You already know what's up. Green Bay Packers at the Arizona Cardinals. Man, Arizona finds a way to lose. Every time. Arizona is just a bad team. They're bad. Kyler Murray, don't know how to express this enough. Kyler Murray is not a leader at his quarterback position. He's not. I don't see him like a Matthew Stafford. I don't see him like a Dak Prescott. I don't see him even like a Jordan Love, to where they're getting in guys' ears, hey guys, let's go. We got this. Let's go. This is kind of what we're going to do. I'm looking for you, okay? Let's make a play. You don't have that. You just have this upset Kyler Murray every time something doesn't go right. And he looks like a little child out there. He needs to grow up. He needs to accept some accountability that, hey, I missed a read because I couldn't see him because I'm 5'10", okay? That sometimes needs to be put out there. I think he legitimately needs to go into a press conference and say, I good pass rush, they locked their guy. No, just say, hey, I could not see, and that's why I didn't throw this ball, because the guy was open. I don't know. I just don't think Arizona's got their quarterback that they need. And I think soon enough they'll figure that out. But since they paid him, they're going to have to bite the bullet and just continue to stick him out there. I think Green Bay has got this minus 6.5, but I'm just going to put this on record. I would not be surprised if Arizona comes out and just punches Green Bay right in the mouth, and then they just completely dog walk the Green Bay Packers. On paper, Green Bay's, I'm going minus 6.5 Green Bay. But every time you want to count Arizona out, and I do it, they have a good game. Somehow, some way. Packers -6.5, though. 8:20 Sunday night game. Atlanta at San Francisco. I do not know what to expect from San Francisco. Mainly because you don't have Fred Warner. Your defense hasn't been the greatest. You don't have Nick Bosa, so you don't have a pass rush. Atlanta's has the number one running back in the league right now, Bijan Robinson. And then we got another guy right behind him, Tyler Algier. So two good guys that run the ball really well. Atlanta had a heck of a game against the Buffalo Bills. Just absolutely punched the Bills in the mouth. And you're starting to see Buffalo is having issues. They don't have any receivers that can get open. And Josh Allen cannot just sit back there and run around all day. He can't. It's finally starting to show. I'm going to take Atlanta +3.5. Mac Jones is going to get the start for Brock Purdy again. I think Kendrick Bourne's going to look to have another big game, and Kittle's back. So San Francisco offense might be a little bit more explosive, but not like they haven't been. Kendrick Bourne has had a career 2 games, and that's why I picked him up on fantasy. Let's see what the Falcons do with San Francisco tonight. Going to Atlanta +3.5. All right, 2 Monday night games. You have a 7 p.m. Tampa Bay at Detroit. I'm taking Tampa +5.5. Baker Mayfield's the guy. He's a top 10 quarterback in this league. He's going to have Mike Evans back. Emeka Egbuka is going to be a pre-game decision. So let's see what we're going to get out of this Tampa Bay team. Is Mike Evans going to be 100% healthy? Is that hamstring going to hold up? And is Emeka going to play? On the other side, the Detroit Lions, they got beat by the Chiefs last week. And I think that was all because of the first play or the penalty on the first touchdown that just completely took them out of their game. Too worried about the call on the field. Well, when you practice it wrong all week and you think it's right, then you do it in the game. You play how you practice. That's what I've always heard, and that is exactly what showed up in that game. And it is past 1 o'clock right now, so of course the Dolphins have started their game, and on the first drive, they stymied these Cleveland Browns. Now we get to see Tua out there on the first drive. And I wonder if he knows he has a towel on his shoulder still. He just realized it. I'm going Tampa Bay +5.5. I think that they're going to give Detroit some fits. But being in Detroit, Lions could have some serious home field advantage. 10 o'clock game, Houston at Seattle. I'm going Seattle all day. They have a really good defense, and C.J. Stroud is so inconsistent right now. If Seattle can get him off of his game, I think Houston's going to have a hard time. I really do. They've just not shown a very effective run game. And C.J. Stroud, like I said, super inconsistent. He needs to be the guy that gets this offense rolling. And instead, if he can't get the ball to Nico Collins, this offense just dies out. It is just not up to standard at all. So, a lot of things to look for in our Monday night game. You got a doubleheader, 7 and a 10. And I will more than likely be up for the entire 10 o'clock game. So, we'll check things out. All right, everyone. I want to thank you for tuning into this. This is my Week 7 picks against the spread. I'll have the next episode either Tuesday or Wednesday posted for the review for my Week 7 picks against the spread. And I'm going to try to do these a little bit sooner, so I'm not doing them the day of, because now I'm posting these as games are going on, and some people might be interested in seeing these beforehand so they can make some decisions. So I'm going to do a better job at that. I do appreciate everyone tuning in, listening, liking, sharing, anything that you do to help me get some views on this. It is much appreciated. So I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. I am Tyler Clemmons, and tune into the next one. Thanks.